A very good morning, everyone. I'm live with all of you today. I'm going to wait for a few seconds for few viewers to join in, and then I'll start talking about this live session. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Namrata. I'm a health coach here at Bagdara Farms, and the topic we have chosen for today's live session is cervical cancer. I'm going to be talking about cervical cancer, what are its causes, what are its symptoms, and how natural supplementation can help with not just preventing but also treating the problem of cervical cancer, right? So, let me begin by telling you what is cervical cancer. Vimlesh Lodiji, thank you, sir. So, cervical cancer is when a tumor of the cervix, which is malignant. That means if there is a tumor that happens in the cervix area, which is in women, अगर वो cervix area में होता है and this becomes malignant, that is known as cervical cancer. Now, where is this cervix located? It is located in the lowermost part of the uterus. In the lowermost part of the uterus is the cervix, which is located, and cervical cancer is when there is a tumor that is formed in the cervix area and this tumor becomes malignant. That is cancer, right? So, when the cervical cancer happens when the cells change in women's cervix. That means the cells which in the cervix which connects the uterus with the vagina. Now, what happens? This cancer can start affecting the cells, then the deeper tissues of the cervix, and can spread to other parts as well. And that is when you say that this metasizes. That means there can be metastasis that can happen, that if the cancer is there in the cervix area and it gets spread to other parts, then it can spread to other parts like your vagina, rectum, lungs, liver, bladder, etc. So, this is known as metastasis. Metastasis is when the cancer can spread from one part to the other, right? And this happens in the case of cervical cancer. If it is not taken care of and it spreads to the further tissues, it can spread to other parts and have the ability to metastasize. Now, what is the most common cause of cervical cancer? The most common cause of cervical cancer in women is HPV. HPV stands for human papilloma virus. Now, human papilloma virus is the most prevalent cause of cervical cancer in women, right? Now, what happens is this can be prevented with a vaccine. There are vaccines which are there to prevent cervical cancer in women, right? Now, what happens? Cervical cancer, usually grows slowly. So, if detected, it can be, treated and prevented with the side effects at a very early stage. And all of this is happening because lot of screening tests like pap tests are being done, are being recommended to women, because after the age of 35 they say that all women should get their pap tests done regularly in order to not just treat but also to prevent this problem from happening, right? So it is thanks to the pap tests that are being there and regular screening done for women that the rate, of the percentage of women getting detected with cervical cancer and being treated has reduced. Otherwise, earlier when there was no awareness regarding this, cervical cancer was a very common condition which was happening, and women were losing their lives to it. So now more than 15% of the new cases which are now there are usually over the age of 65. However, especially those who haven't been getting regular screenings done. So if somebody gets regular screenings done, if somebody gets the regular pap tests done, or are watching out for signs and symptoms, then these things can be treated and prevented effectively and efficiently. Now, let's come down to the signs and symptoms of cervical cancer. Now, what are the signs and symptoms which can indicate and can tell you that, maybe there is some problem with your cervix, maybe there is some growth happening? The signs are you start having pain in your pelvic area, there can be blood spots or light spotting in between or after your periods. The menstrual bleeding, the menstruation which women have, the menstrual bleeding can be longer or heavier than usual. Bleeding usually after intercourse, douching, or pelvic examination. Sometimes, if you go to a gynecologist and you are having these examinations and there is bleeding post that without any reason, then that is also one of the signs and symptoms of cervical cancer. Increased vaginal discharge, pain during sexual intercourse, bleeding after menopause, weight loss, fatigue, and nausea. Now, these are all the signs and symptoms which are there, which happen in cervical cancer, which can happen either in the initial stages or the later stages, but these are usually signs which can indicate that there is some problem, right? Now let's come to the cervical cancer types. So there are few types of cervical cancer. One, squamous cell carcinoma. Second, adenocarcinoma. Third, mixed carcinoma. Now what is squamous cell carcinoma? Squamous cell carcinoma is type of cancer that forms in the lining of the cervix. And 90% of cervical cancer cases are caused due to squamous cell carcinoma. Then is adenocarcinoma. What is adenocarcinoma? This forms in the cells that produce the mucus. So adenocarcinoma is also a type of cancer that forms in the cells that produce mucus. And mixed carcinoma is one which happens in both, in the cells that produce mucus and in the lining of the cervix. Now, every problem anyone to everyone can get detected with any health condition, but there are few risk factors which put you more at risk, or more at chances of you getting that particular problem. One, if somebody has multiple sexual partners, if somebody has started having sexual relationships or sexual intercourse before the age of 16 or within a year after starting their periods, if somebody is on regular birth control pills, especially for more than 5 years, if you are on long term contraceptive pills, that can also be a risk factor for cervical cancer. If you have a weak immune system, most important, if your immune system is weak, if your immune system is not proper, you're going to have major health conditions in your system, right? If somebody smokes cigarettes, that also puts you more at risk of cervical cancer. And if you've had a history of you've had STD, that is sexually transmitted diseases, then that is also one of the risk factors for cervical cancer, right? Now, let me now tell you the reason why I'm here and why I'm talking about this session is, hi, Mr. God Gaming. You need to know the price of cervical. Sure, I'll let you know the price of cervical. Just stay online with us for some time and I'll give you these details. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about cervical. Now, what is cervical? Here at Bagdara Farms, we have organic supplements which are made out of curcumin. Curcumin is a phytochemical, a component found in turmeric, which gives turmeric its color and medicinal properties. That means the medicinal properties which are there in turmeric, which comes from curcumin. So it is very important that this curcumin percentage be high for it to be effective for prevention or treatment of any kind of problem in the human body, right? So let me just show you the on the screens the name of the product. One second. Yes. So Cervical is the product which we have for cervical cancer. Now, how does it help? Now, because like I said, it is enriched with high levels of curcumin, the curcumin percentage in our products is between 11 to 19%. And because the curcumin is high, it helps with prevention, treatment, and recovery of any kind of cervical cancer treatment or any kind of recovery phase. Right? Before I come to that, Mr. God Gaming, you asked the price of cervical. Price of cervical for one bottle, which has 60 grams of powder in it, is rupees 3525. Rest you can see the details on our website, which is www.bagdarafarms.com. We've also started with capsules, so you can also get all details regarding the same on our website. The website link I can flash on the screens. It is www.bagdarafarms.com. You can go to the website and check out the price for cervical as well as other products which are available. So, what is cervical having that can help you with prevention and treatment of cervical cancer? So, cervical has, like I said, curcumin. So, most importantly, it has anti-cancerous properties. That means anti-cancerous, it has anti-carcinogenic properties. That means it has the ability to kill cancer cells in the body, to prevent the growth of further cancer cells, and at the same time, it makes sure that the healthy cells are maintained in the body, right? So, it is anti-cancerous, it is anti-carcinogenic, it is anti-inflammatory. Inflammation is the root cause of problems in the human body. Once you combat inflammation or once you target inflammation, automatically the organs start functioning properly because the flow of oxygen, flow of blood supply, flow of nutrients, flow of hormones in the body starts circulating in a proper manner, which helps the organs to perform to its optimum ability and flush out all the toxins, all the infections, all the virus which is there in our body. It is also an antioxidant. Like I said, any kind of oxidative damage that can be caused due to any kind of risk factors which I mentioned, right? So the antioxidant property removes any kind of oxidative damage that are caused due to free radicals in the system. This prevents metastasis. Like I told you in the beginning, that if the cancer spreads to the tissues and further starts, in this uterus area, it can also metastasize. That means it can also spread to other parts in the body, like the vagina. It can lead to the liver. It can lead to the lungs, etc., bladder, etc. Right. So what happens? This prevents metastasis. That means it prevents the cancer from spreading from one part of the body to another, right? So this is a property which curcumin has. Then it is also having chemoprotective ability. Chemoprotective ability means, if in case you are going through the treatment of cervical cancer, the chemotherapy will help. The protective ability will help in making sure that the healthy cells are maintained while you're going through the process of chemotherapy. Also, whatever side effects happen due to chemotherapy on the system, all of those can also be treated and prevented with the chemoprotective ability of curcumin naturally. Also, cervical forestalls the HPV infection. That means, which is HPV infection is a major cause of cervical cancer. So what it does, it brings down the activity of a protein that is known as AP1, which is generally very high in cases of cervical cancer cells. Now, cervical is also responsible for cellular proliferation. Most important of all, which I always tell all the customers, is, all our viewers also I'm telling right now, that it is an immunomodulatory. Your immunity needs to be strong, your immunity needs to be robust, your immunity needs to be the best for your body to not just stay healthy but also to fight any kind of infection or ailment in a better manner, right? So these are all the properties which are there of cervical, which we recommend for prevention and treatment of breast cancer. For more details regarding the same, you can visit our website, which is www.bhaktarafarms.com. We have products in powder form as well as capsules form. Powder is always more faster to be absorbed in the body, while capsules also are our capsules are also 100% vegetarian, 100% vegan capsules, which are there for prevention and treatment of cervical cancer. Now, let me tell you, we have one bottle which has 60 grams of powder in it, which is a course for 15 to 20 days. We recommend a minimum course of 2 months, maximum is a lifetime, because cervical cancer can take 5 to 6 months for it to, start showing proper results on your body. It starts working internally by reducing the inflammation, but for it to kill the cancer cells and it can take time of, you should give minimum 4 to 5 months time to yourself. So, what is the procedure to consume it? The recommended dosage is half teaspoon of cervical twice in the day. The procedure to make it is, you take 2 cups of water, to that add half teaspoon cervical, a pinch of black pepper powder, that is 1/4 teaspoon. Boil it till the time the quantity gets reduced to half, that means from 2 cups to 1 cup. When you have 1 cup left with you, you pour it into your cup without straining it. You can either have it as it is, or if you want, you can add little bit of honey or lemon juice for taste. Honey and lemon juice are optional. Then, while drinking it, you drink it like your tea or coffee. Take each sip, keep it in your mouth for few seconds, and then gulp it down. The reason we tell you to keep it in your mouth for few seconds is because when it gets mixed with your saliva, its absorption and digestion in the body is better, right? Why do we add pepper? And if not pepper, what else can be added? Pepper is added because turmeric is low in bioavailability. That means it's poor in absorption in the body. So we add pepper to the turmeric so that its absorption rate increases. If you do not like pepper or it has any kind of side effects on your system, instead of pepper, you can add a fat. That fat can be in the form of 1/4 teaspoon of olive oil, coconut oil, or desi ghee, which we have at home. So any kind of fat or pepper needs to be added to increase the absorption rate of turmeric. Why do we not strain it? We do not strain the mixture because turmeric doesn't get dissolved. So the residue which is left in the end needs to be taken as well. If you think taking it together in the end is not, comfortable for your palate, what you do, you can keep stirring it in between and having it while you're drinking this tea. And like I said, this has to be taken twice in the day, morning, evening, either empty stomach or 1 to 2 hours after your meals. If you come to the capsules, then we have one bottle which has 40 capsules in it. It is a bottle for 20 days. You can take one capsule each, twice in the day, morning, evening, either empty stomach or an hour or two after your meals, with little warm to lukewarm water. This is the procedure which we have. For any more queries, any more details, please feel free to contact us on our number, that is 9560254646. I repeat, our contact number is 9560254646. You can call us on this number, you can drop a message, WhatsApp us, give us a comfortable time, and we will get back to you with your queries, and we would try our best to help you with your health conditions. We have many products here at Bagdara Farms, many health supplements for different health conditions. So, if cervical cancer is not what you're looking for, but you have any other health condition or concern in mind, please feel free to call us on our number 9560254646, or visit us on our website, which is www.bagdarafarms.com. And even on the website, we have a section wherein you can write in your queries to us. So, you can write in whatever query you have, and we'll get back to you. That's all I have for the live session for today. Just in case you think that it was informative and you can share this video with viewers, you can do that. We are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn as Bagdara Farms. I'll be coming live again at 6:30 p.m. on our Instagram page as well. So if you think somebody can benefit from this knowledge and this interaction, please feel free to let them know that 6:30 p.m. will be another live session on Instagram on cervical cancer. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy your day and be safe. Thank you.